Okay, everybody, what I've got today for you is a great way to have a supply of food, however much you want, 1 month, a year, 2 years, and all dry packed into a Mylar bag where all you'll need is be able to heat up some water and you can make this soup mix. This is a 16 bean soup mix. You have to have your Mylar bags, a sealer, some silica O2 packets, and then of course the ingredients, and I'll list all that on the video and show you the process. But you can basically make when you go to the store and you see those like Mountain House meals or dry pack meals that are now $10 a pack, you can make this and store it in just a small tub underneath a bed. And each of these packs I'm going to show you makes about, you add 16, 18 cups of water, it makes probably close to 20 to 21 cups of soup. And it's going to be in a 1-quart bag. So this is one of those things you can use. You can take other recipes you like, find recipes online using freeze-dried ingredients or dried ingredients like rice or your own bean mix that you like, add it to this thing and dry seal it, vacuum seal it, and you'll have food storage for many, many years. That's very simple and not complicated like storing wheat and salt and all these things separately. You'll take a packet out, soak the beans, heat up your water, make your soup, and you've got food for a family of 4. 20 cup soup is, can last you a day or two. And then you can add other things, and I may make another video, but it's the same process, like a breakfast meal, like oatmeal. You can put oatmeal in there with a little salt, maybe a little butter powder, some cinnamon or dried berries, and you've got an oatmeal pack. And if you put a couple of cups in there, it's enough for a couple of people every day. So let me show you the process of packing a 16 bean soup and enjoy. Hopefully it'll be something to help you. Even if you don't use the ingredients here, use this same concept and make your own type of soup or other dry pack. There's so much information on the internet. Find the stuff that you and your family will eat, find the dry pack or freeze-dried ingredients of it, and buy it in bulk if you can, and then make a lot of it. And then you can store it away under a bed, out of sight, and have a great supply of food that's very easy to use in times of emergency. Okay, everyone, let's go over what you need to make the 16 bean survival soup. It makes 14 to 16 servings, and this is the list of what you're going to need. I'm just pausing a little bit longer in case you want to take a screenshot or write it down. You can always pause the video. If you do not like some of the beans in this 16 bean soup, then just replace it with a bean mix that you like. If you don't want rice, then do double beans. If you are a vegetarian, then don't add the dried chicken. This is just kind of the ideal soup mix, proteins and nutrients, full of all that stuff that's really good. And this soup mix is also, it's got lentils. So if you don't like, soggy lentils because you're going to soak the beans before you make it, then maybe this isn't for you. The vegetable mix that we're using today, it has bell peppers. I don't really care for bell peppers, but when it comes down to it, if I need to eat it, I'm going to eat it. So let's go over some of the stuff we need. And again, anything I show you, you don't have to use these specific brands or labels. Pick the ones that work for you, that are in your price range, that have good reviews on all of these things, or the things that you like. So first we'll start off with these. This is a Wallaby brand. It's the oxygen absorbers. And for the 2 liter, we need the 300 cc. There's going to be one of those packets into each one. Okay. In case you ever wondered what those were in your things you open up, those aren't chiclets. Those are oxygen absorbers. It preserves the food in the can. Next, you're going to get the food storage bags. Again, these are Wallaby brand. This is actually the first time I'm trying this brand, so we'll see how it works. It has a lot of good reviews, and it might have cost me $1 or so more over the other brands, but I just want to pack my stuff in good quality food bags. So this is 2-quart. You can fit this recipe in 1 quart with space. In fact, my first batch of 30 are all in 1 quart. Someone mentioned in the group I was working with, they do it in 2 quarts because it lays flatter. You can spread it out and make it flatter and it fits better. So I'm going to go ahead and try the 2-quart and see how that works. Okay. There's your thickness. And then what you're going to do is it's really good when you store a lot of foods, especially foods that you won't cook everything at once. Now this one you might cook everything at once, this soup mix. But you want that Ziploc on these, and then you're going to seal it up here. And there's a tear mark here. So that if it's a product that you're only going to use half of it, maybe you can seal it back up and kind of keep it airtight for a couple more days. But we probably won't do that with this soup mix. So let's move on to what we're going to use here. So this mix has the 16 bean soup mix from Goya. That's the mix. And see, there's the lentils. So remember, you're going to put these in a baggie, fold over baggies, not Ziploc baggies. And this isn't absolutely necessary, but what this does is you're going to put the beans in a baggie and separate it from everything. And when you take it out, you'll soak these beans for the allotted time before making the soup. Again, not critical, but just a better way to do the beans. You have to soak them. So going on, we got the rice. It suggests long grain rice. This is not long grain rice. It's going to be in a soup mix, so even though this is sushi rice, it's not going to be sticking together. You've got the chicken soup base, Morton salt, any salt works, butter powder, diced chicken, again dried fried chicken, not fried chicken, air dried or freeze dried chicken. And then we go on to the potatoes, the mixed vegetables. Again, get a vegetable mix that you like from a company that you like. And then finally, you're going to need a Mylar sealer, and these sealers can range from $30 to $200. Find one that works in your price range, that has good reviews, and does the appropriate sealing width. So I think this one is 14 inch, I think. So that's more than enough for these bags to fit in. And then what you end up with is a bag of soup mix in something like this, sealed above. You can tear here, reseal it with a Ziploc. Then you can print out these instructions and ingredients, and that's what you end up with. So this compact thing is 14 to 16 servings of food. Can last, a family of 2 or 4. Even if you just had to eat this, that could last a couple days. So anyway, this is the ingredients you need. I'll put some of the links in there. Use the brands and shop in the price range that works for you. Let's go on to the process. Okay, so here we are, the process of putting this in. One thing you do have is these bags. You can pop them open, and then they kind of sit here so that they stand upright. And it's easier when you have 2 hands, but let's see if we can do this with 1 hand. So first I'm going to add the rice. Okay, cup of rice. Now, some people separate these powders in another baggie. I don't. I don't think it's necessary. But let's add the 4 tablespoons of the soup base. Remember, some soup bases have a lot of salt. So make up for that when you do your salt. 1 tablespoon of the powdered butter. I'm sorry, I messed that up. See, you got to be careful. It is a 1/4 cup of powdered butter. So let's do 1, 2, 3, and I believe 4 tablespoons is a 1/4 cup. If I'm wrong, it's just going to be a buttery mess. I'll correct it in text if I need to. All right, and next, because this brand is quite salty. I can't remember how much, but it does have, let's see, so 3/4 teaspoon is 610 milligrams of sodium. So you may not even need salt, but either way, I'm doing half of the tablespoon that it says in the recipe. So you might want to do similar depending on which one you get. Next, we're going to do the dried chicken. And then the dried potatoes. And then the dried vegetables. Okay. Now, I've already put the beans in a baggie, so it's just the non-Ziploc fold-over baggies. You put this in last, just like this. Now, some may spill out. Who knows? It depends on how you store it. And that's it. And then what I do is I squeeze out as much air as I can, and I Ziploc it after putting an O2 packet in here. Okay. Now, what you want to do also is a lot of those O2 packets, if you come over here and look at it, it is right here, packaged in sets of 10. Now, when you open one of those packets, so there's 100 in here, so there's 10 packets of 10. When you open one packet, you don't want it to sit on the counter and do one of these at a time. You want to do 10 of these to this point, Just put the beans in, set them aside, and then you want to open a packet of absorbers and drop 10 in there, or one per thing. Zip it up immediately, take out as much air as you can, zip it up immediately, and then you're good to seal it. So just remember that. Don't let these absorbers sit out. Go do 10 of these at a time. That seems to be what most of these come in. And then open one pack of 10, drop an individual one in each packet of 10, zip lock it. You know, you can kind of press out as much oxygen as you want just to help, but the 300 cc is enough for 2 liter or 2 quart. And then what you're going to do is, see those little notches right there? That little notch is the tear notch, right? So you want to seal above that tear notch because you want to be able to tear the sealed part off. And then you can zip lock it back. And all you do to seal it, and I'll show you when I get it all done. You lay it down there right on the thing so that those tear marks are just below it. And you're going to bring that iron down. It presses. I just have it on the hottest setting. And the light will come on, and then that light will go off once it's done. I usually hold it for another maybe 2 more seconds just to make sure. Then you're going to look at it, make sure it's got a nice press seal up here. And as long as it does, you're good to go. Put your label on, and then you got your little packets. And some people like to put those labels on first because it's easier when they're flat. So, and here you can see the difference. That's 1 quart. I think I said liters earlier, and that's 2 liters. 2 quarts, sorry. So when this is down, it'll flatten. It flattens thinner, and some people like that. But see, you can more than fit it in a 1 quart bag. It's what it was made for, really. And that might save you a couple dollars. So that's the process. Get your assembly line, do 10 at a time, open up 1 pack of absorbers, drop 1 in each, press the air out, zip lock it, put it in your sealer, slap the labels on, you're good to go. So that's pretty much it for the 16 bean soup with mixed vegetables and chicken. Okay, so the final step in this is read the instructions. It's always important. Your oxygen absorber to test effectiveness. If the absorber is soft and easily bent, it's in working condition. If it's hardened and crunchy, then you need to use something else. Another way to know is on these absorbers, Wallaby, it's got that pink seal. If there's oxygen in there, that would be blue, I believe. So that's another way to tell. So this tells you right here, 400 to 800 cc's of oxygen absorbers per gallon. We're using 2 quarts, so half a gallon. We're dropping 300 cc's into it, so that'll work for 2 quart. And again, if it's open and you're going to store it again, you're going to need to put another oxygen absorber in. So we've got our 10 bags here. We've got 10 bags ready. We got a pack of 10, right? So we're going to cut these open, and there should be. I don't know the time. I know there is a time limit that you need to get these in, 10, 15 minutes probably. But they're already absorbing right now as I'm talking. So we're going to drop 1 in each bag. We'll Mylar zip it, and that'll be it. So 1, 2, whoops. Don't need 2 in there. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now that's it. So each one has the absorber. So now what we can do is kind of press it against yourself, get out as much oxygen as you can, and then just zip lock it. Make sure the zip lock is tight. There's the snap. Okay, we've got the sealer plugged in. Again, we're going to seal right above that tear line. Okay, so when you put it in here, line it up just above the tear line, and when you press this down, it's going to put heat on that, and then this light turns on. Now I've got it on full, I just want it hot. I usually hold it a few seconds after it turns off, and then I lift it up, and then we look at it. If that's a nice good seal, if you can see that in the camera, see how flat that is all the way across. We got a nice seal. So if it was a product, unlike soup, where you probably use it all at once, and you only wanted part of it, you can break the seal, and you got that Ziploc now to maybe take a third out, and then maybe do another third later of some other food if you wanted. So that's ready to go. You're done. Put your label on it of whatever it is. And this is one of the reasons one of the guys likes 2 quarts. instead of one, because that lays flatter. He liked that. As opposed to the 1 quart, you kind of get a lumpier side. So anyway, your choice, what 1 quart or 2 quart, that's it. Takes up very little space, about 16 cups of food. So for a family of 4, easily a day or two's worth of food in an emergency or if you need to.